What is the primary auditory image presented in the first line of the poem, Endless Crow Noises? What does the skull in the holy sand symbolize? Poverty and hunger. What is the metaphorical meaning of empty country? A country symbolizing the emptiness of hunger and poverty. What literary device is used when the poet describes the skull in the holy sands? Metaphor. What is the overall atmosphere conveyed by the images of crow noises? Somber and reflective. What do the white-clad widowed women signify? The rigid rituals and customs imposed upon them. What is the significance of the great temple in the poem? It symbolizes the hollowness of rituals and societal expectations. What do the centers of their lives refer? Their husbands or youthful desires. What do the widowed women wear white clothes? As a symbol of mourning and respect for their deceased husbands. What is the emotional state of widowed women as described in the poem? They are devoid of worldly desires and trapped in societal norms. What is symbolic meaning of the net in the poem? It symbolizes the societal norms trapping the woman. What is the role of faith in the lives of widowed women? It is their only source of hope and liberation. What is the societal perception of widowed women in the poem? They are seen as victims of patriarchal norms and customs. What are the significance of the great temple as a gateway to heaven? It symbolizes the societal expectation that women can find peace only after death. How does the poem portray the life of widowed women in India? As devoid of purpose and trapped in societal norms. What does the term austere suggest? They are serious and devoid of emotion. What literary device is used in the phrase stare like those caught in a net? Simile. What does the being caught in a net symbolize? Trapped in societal expectations and norms. What does the dawn's shining of strands of faith represent? The beginning of a new field with hope. How do the austere eyes contribute to the overall tone of the poem? They evoke feelings of sorrow and resignation. In what way does the imagery of dawn function in these lines? It signifies hope and new beginnings. What emotional state might be inferred from the phrase caught in a net? A sense of entrapment or helplessness. What does the use of faith imply about the widowed woman's perspective? Their faith is a source of strength amid its struggles. How does the imagery in these lines reflect societal views on widowed women? It highlights their struggles within restrictive societal norms. What does the phrase the fall early light catches suggest? It highlights the bleakness and desolation of the scene. What does ruined leprous shells symbolize? The decay and neglect of social structure. What does the image of shells leaning against one another convey? A picture of isolation and desperation. What is meant by a mass of crouched faces without names? It signifies the anonymity and marginalization of individuals. How does the overall imagery in these lines contribute to the poem's tone? It evokes feelings of sadness and desolation. What literary device is used describing ruined leprous shells? Symbolism. What does the phrase breaks out my heart suggest about the speaker's emotions? A sudden release of suppressed feelings. What is the symbolic meaning of the smoky blaze of a sullen, sultry pyre? It symbolizes death and mourning. What does the speaker's mother wish to be cremated in this location? Because it holds spiritual or cultural significance. What does twisting uncertainty like light convey about the speaker's emotions? A feeling of confusion and uncertainty. What does on the shifting sand symbolize in this context? Change and uncertainty. What does aging mother suggest about the mother's life stage? She is nearing the end of her life. How does the poem reflect on the theme of mortality? It highlights death as an inevitable part of life. What does solitary pyre symbolize? A personal and intimate farewell. How does the poem use natural imagery to convey emotions? It uses nature to evoke feelings of sadness and loss.